Ynet is reporting that the Biden administration is putting massive pressure on Bibi Netanyahu to agree to the horrible hostage deal and pay an unacceptable price because the Biden administration wants the war to end. See, the Biden administration wants to have a normalization deal with Saudi Arabia and Israel so that they can show some foreign policy success before the November 2024 elections, even if it means that Hamas will not be defeated and Israel can't be victorious in ending this war. Politico is reporting that Biden is so frustrated with Bibi Netanyahu that he called him a bad effing guy. Biden didn't say this about the heads of Hamas, responsible for murdering over 1,200 innocent Jews. Biden didn't say this about the evil heads of Iran or Qatar, who financed the October 7th massacre of innocent Jews. No, Biden said this about Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, who is trying to defend Israeli lives in a defensive war as the Biden administration and the international community tie our hands behind our backs in forbidding us from properly defending ourselves and ridding ourselves of Hamas, forcing us to give Hamas aid, prosecuting us on the world stage, and spreading blood libels against proud Jewish farmers defending themselves against their Arab Muslim neighbors who attack them all the time with the financial support of European government funding and NGOs. Welcome to the Jewish reality. It is under these conditions that we in Israel are trying to protect ourselves, and our IDF soldiers are out there fighting to ensure our enemies can never slaughter us again. Now, some people think that the Biden administration has turned anti-Israel because of the upcoming elections to pander to the Democratic anti-Israel progressives and the Arab Muslim voters in their base. I actually think the situation is much, much worse than that. I will now lay out for you the modern history of how the U.S. foreign policy establishment has always been pressuring Israel to establish a terror state called Palestine for decades, and trying to expel us from our historic lands in Judea, Samaria, and Gaza. It's not just the Biden administration. So let's go backwards. When Obama was president, he tried pressuring Netanyahu for 8 years of his whole administration to have Israel to agree to the creation of a terror state called Palestine. The only reason Palestine never was created was because of the tremendous diplomatic leadership of then Prime Minister of Israel at the time, Benjamin Netanyahu, who successfully maneuvered the Obama administration and stopped it from ever happening. Now let's jump back further to President Clinton. President Clinton also used all 8 years of his presidency to push for the establishment of a terror state called Palestine. Thankfully, at the time, while he was pressuring Israel, he really privately blamed arch-terrorist PLO, Palestinian Authority leader Yasser Arafat, for the failure of the state being created, because Arafat always said no to all the two-state solution compromises, including the last one at the Camp David Accords back in the year 2000. As this Newsweek article titled, "Clinton to Arafat, It's All Your Fault," quotes Clinton as saying that Arafat called to bid him farewell 3 days before he left the presidential office, and Arafat told Clinton, I quote, "You are a great man," to which Clinton responded, I quote, "The hell I am, I'm a colossal failure, and you made me one," end quote. And it's not just Democrat presidents. According to late Rabbi Shar Yashuv HaKohen, who was very close to former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, who confided in him and told them that it was Republican President Bush who pressured Prime Minister Sharon to destroy all 21 Jewish communities in the Gaza Strip and pull the IDF out of the Gaza Strip and hand it to the Palestinian Authority. Rav Shar Yashuv HaKohen heard Sharon make it clear that the pressure was from the U.S. government, and that is that. The myth of an autonomous Israeli policy that Sharon thought of it on his own has nothing to do with reality. It was a U.S. plan forced upon Israel. In late June 2005, then Israeli ambassador to the United States, Danny Ayalon, met with representatives of the Orthodox Union, one of the largest contingents of American Orthodox Jews, and he told them clearly that, and I'm quoting from the article, Prime Minister Sharon is left with no choice. He is doing exactly what the U.S. expects him to do, end quote, in terms of destroying the 21 Jewish communities in Gaza and handing it to the Palestinian Authority. So you see, this is not a Biden policy. This is a long-standing U.S. foreign policy to step-by-step weaken Israel and reward our enemies for murdering us with their constant terror. And today, a vast majority of Israelis not only understand that the creation of a terror state called Palestine would threaten Israel's existence and our lives on a daily basis, and therefore can never happen, but the majority of Israelis today understand that we, the Jewish people and the IDF, must remain forever in Gaza, Judea, and Samaria. So any United States administration that thinks that a solution to the Middle East is which rewards the terror-supporting Hamas and the Palestinian Authority with a state, especially after they massacred, mutilated, burned, and beheaded over 1,200 innocent Jews, that solution is not a solution, and it's disconnected from reality, the reality of the Israeli street, and it outs themselves as evil and really anti-Israel. By the way, only one administration did not pressure Israel to give away our land and expel Jews from their homes. That was the administration under President Trump. I hope this is enlightening information for all of you. If you are not yet signed up for my full videos, go to pulseofisrael.com and sign up for the daily videos. And obviously for all the short videos, follow me on Instagram. And if you like these messages that you hear from the Pulse of Israel and you want to help us reach more people, well, every once in a while, just click on the donate button on pulseofisrael.com. Thanks, everyone. Shalom. Signing off from the beautiful ancestral homeland of the Jewish people, the land of Israel, in our beautiful, ancestral, biblical, and indivisible capital, Jerusalem, since King David's time. That's the truth, and spread it with everywhere you go.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.